guessed by now. We've arrived. Now, the place is called Woodford. It's about 15 k's from Katoomba. It's Maggie Deem's electorate, Macquarie. Now, it's the home of John Derham, D-E-R-U-M, you know, the actor. Well, it might be best if I just wander down there now and just come back in a minute or two and just see where we can go.
Do we get a doorstop?
Oh, we'll see.
Do we get a feed?
I'll find that out. So doorstop and feed. I'll check that out.
In the other order.
One of the biggest problems we have on this trip, compared to other election campaigns, are the logistics. We were told on the way up here, for instance, with the landing at Mount Victoria, in fact we're now at Woodford, which is 1 million miles away from Mount Victoria, all the arrangements about getting the helicopters into Mount Victoria to pick up the tape to get it back to the evening's news now have to be scrapped. It's just one example of the security and secrecy around the Prime Minister's movements to avoid the possibility of demonstrators that's causing problems for the media.
Now, it's John Derham.
Hi, John. Jane, my wife.
It's not every day you get to welcome a Prime Minister to your backyard.
No doorstop, you don't think so?
No, I don't think so today. I mean, there was a fair bit in the speech, I thought.
No.
He's regurgitated Howard's line about 5 minutes of economic sunshine.
He's done a speech here, sort of a vision thing speech, you know, in shirt sleeves, surrounded by friends here in the mountains, which is quite pretty.
We're not getting a doorstop, but he just gave quite a reasonable speech. You know, John Howard wouldn't know a real person if he fell over him, and here's Keating in a backyard barbie full of real people. Mind you, they're real people who all seem extremely supportive of Paul Keating and don't heckle him, but we can make that point.
How are you? Afternoon.
Mr. Howard, Channel 4 News in London.
This will be the last question, I'm sorry.
How far have Labour borrowed ideas from your party in the last few years?
Oh, in a lot of areas, but I don't think I'm going to go into them now.
Can I just ask you one final question?
Thank you.
You know, it's much more frantic in Britain, and here there seems to be much more pressure on the media from the candidates' offices not to do the shots they don't want, not to get them at angles they don't think are flattering, not to ask questions they don't want to answer. So it does seem to be quite different.
Yes, I've been here about 12 hours, and within about 10 minutes I was told by one of the campaign guys that I mustn't be behind Mr. Howard at all. And so he quite firmly pushed me away. And that was it.
And
I pushed back, but I mean...
that sort of thing doesn't happen in England?
It does, but we tend to ignore it more.
The complaints that we've had from Mr. Howard's office suggest that the press pack operate according to certain rules, and in return they get access to the candidate. And if we don't do that, then we don't get access to the candidate. And we've had very little cooperation from the team, really.
Well, when the journalists talk about stage management and control, what they actually mean is that nobody made any mistakes, and the journalists couldn't make people slip up. And the politicians were out there doing their job, the gallery was doing theirs, but what the gallery really likes is big mistakes. When nobody makes a mistake, the gallery talks about control and stage manage.
To me, that stage managed stuff is too plastic. I notice that the gallery is starting to complain about it, and I think in time Australians see through it. So it's not how I would go about it, but it is the professional campaigning technique of the day.
Good to see you. Welcome to the family. How are you? Good to see you.
Well, this would have to be the most contrived event of the whole campaign, wouldn't it? What have we got about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably 10 people. I don't think any of them are voters. They all look as if they're about 15. This is an absolute classic. John Howard looking like the man of the people. Come here, flick the coin, entirely for the camera crews. There's not one real reporter here. Everyone just comes out here, snaps the photos. So this is a real campaign special, this one. Down to Hobart to listen to one radio interview, watch him toss a coin and eat some lunch. Used to be a joke. Journalism's about waiting outside doors for hours and hours for people to come out and lie to you. Well, this is just a variation of that theme, I think.
I had a stumping and 2 catches.
Good, mate.
We keep running into each other. David, how are you? Good to see you.
Don't walk on the grass.
Guys, off the playing square means off the playing square. We've been asked by the Cricket Association. The cricket square is just this line here. Okay. Everyone can get back, thanks. Thank you very much. Right back. Guys, the playing square is here. Back a few more steps. Thank you.
Working this way. David Burke, if you could turn around, please. That's the way.
Well, this is the ultimate in what's called association politics. You know, stand yourself next to a real hero like David Burke and you got the pick of the day. That's what that was entirely designed about. You know, if he can get that photo across the newspapers tomorrow, it's worth at least 3 percentage points on the opinion polls, no matter what he says over the next 3 weeks.
And where have you been, Michelle? Following Keating, or?
Well, I did about half and half last week, and I was with Keating yesterday.
Hello. What's your name? Daniel.
Oh, it's interesting the sort of bias you get, I think. I think you tend to sort of stick with who you're with and find out you're interested in what they're doing. You're not really interested in what Keating's doing at all. And find yourself interested in how they're going and you almost want to make them look good.
You're swayed by the position that you're in.
So how do you think your journalists cope with that?
Oh, I think they'd be swayed to a degree too, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but most of them have a counterbalance with someone with the other leader, and then you have maybe someone who's in an absolutely neutral position, away from it all completely.
Secretary setting up a pick fact for the TVs and for the cameras. The board has just naturally arrived here at this seat, as you can see. It's Tony Melville. Now the cameras are getting it. Yeah. Now they're demanding all the journos get out of the way. Do you want me to sign them up?
Yes. Yes, Tom, if you like.
This is a sort of 10 out of 10 fabrication, this one. Even now checking if the pen works on the board.
This is our circular that we usually get rock stars to sign, but I think it's only appropriate that you next to the primal screen one, it's probably a good. Oh, anyway. Okay, we can go now. Okay, we're not going to blow our nose, really. Yes, we can go. No one's going to blow their nose. Okay, come on downstairs, please. Yeah. Great, thanks.
Everything works against the serious reporting of issues because politicians don't want to talk about the issues. Politicians want to talk about image and leadership, and for all of us, they want to tell people as little as possible, keep it as vague and pleasant sounding as possible, and hope that that does the trick.